Yes. Yes, sure. Mr. President, I'd like to make a request. I have a plan. I understand we've got a UFO just sitting in the middle of nowhere surrounded by an artillery of military. But I believe that alien problems call for a certain type of solution. It's not an alien solution and it's not a government solution. What I'm saying is that we need raw power. We need a Hail Mary. We need monsters. Yes, sir. I have a whole lineup for you. I'm actually finna put you on speaker. I'm put you on speaker so that this here audience can hear you. All right. Is the council there? Yes, sir. I understand. All right. Good evening to the world. Everybody who's watching, my name is General Warmonger, and I'd like to share my debriefing on the Monsters vs. Aliens case. Before you begin, if you have any questions on how you can join my club, and you can look at all the other files that have been posted before and that will be posted in the future, don't forget to click that here red button down there. That there red button at the bottom right corner. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. The one that says subscribe. Yes. Don't let the red fool you. I know you've seen enough monster movies and enough alien movies to know not to press the red button. But in this case, you'll want to press subscribe. All right. So, when a meteorite full of space gunk transforms Miss Susan Murphy into a giant 50-foot tall big girl, the government and I decided to rename her Ginormica and confine her to a secret compound with other monsters like Bug-Headed Dr. Cockroach, PhD, the Missing Link, and Bob the Blob. When an extraterrestrial robot, which I just got off the president, I'm still talking to the president and all the officials about this UFO sitting in the middle of nowhere as he decided to play some funk town to the alien, thinking it was going to peacefully set a truce. But instead, it created war. Now, only time there's war, when there's war, there is a warmonger. So this extraterrestrial robot lands on Earth and begins a rampage. I, General Warmonger, persuade the President, Mr. President, to send Ginormica, Cockroach, Missing Link, Bob, and the gigantic, astonishing Insectosaurus to battle the machine and to save the planet from what other potential UFOs are out there somewhere. And that's why I got these monsters at the Area 52 for any unidentified flying objects or unidentified aerial phenomenons. I understand what you're saying. I understand. Over the years, we have been invited to these scandals, to witness spectacles about alien invasions and monster rampages throughout cinema. And because we've seen it in cinema, people have started to create all rumors online and throughout the medias and all over the goddamn world, the dadgum world, about phenomenons, about bogeys, about satellites in the middle of nowhere creating these craters. We have seen monsters battle monsters like Godzilla versus King Kong, and we have seen aliens fight other aliens like Alien versus Predator, my personal favorite. We have been given countless tales about UFOs/UAFs and alien invasions and Mars and interplanetary discoveries, space travel, you name it, Mr. President. There have been times where a 60-foot Kaiju has attacked Japan. Most preferably, it was a small little creature, kind of like Insectosaurus right here. And it was affected by a high exposure to radiation that turned it into a 60-foot Kaiju. It grew appendages and a long reptilian tail, and it started attacking the city. We have seen it attack Japan, New York City, and San Francisco. And then 2009 came along, and we got Monsters vs. Aliens, which is what my new case is called here. There are times where it spontaneously feels like it spoofs and celebrates monster movies and alien invasion sci-fi stories interchangeably. Now, in spite of the era or generation you grew up in, I don't care if it's that here GI generation like 1900 to 1925, which is where my great-grandmother grew up in, or the Gen Zers like all these little kids and like my little niece right here. We have had our fair share of this formula. We understand that whether a monster or an alien comes down to Earth to disturb the peace and to cause human intervention, the government are the first responders to the close encounters. See what I did there? Now, if it isn't the government, they will always give the force of nature a taste of its own medicine. Like another alien or another monster. This is probably the only time any studio has attempted to pit a monster against an alien. I'm speaking in the case of my monsters versus this alien. This is the only time we have responded with an alien invasion, with an alien anomaly, with monsters. It is easy to look at DreamWorks Animation as a whole and call it Pixar's competition, you know what I mean? Especially with films like Antz, those creepy little ants, and the dangerous looking sharks who for some reason create these Goodfellas types mafia in the ocean. I wouldn't say DreamWorks was always trying to copy Pixar, but they try to tell stories. And Pixar, they have not even done told yet. Even though we already got Monsters Inc. in 2001, regardless of whether it was their intention or not to respond to that film with this one. I think DreamWorks is taking more of a sci-fi approach with monsters versus aliens. It's big, it's never been done before, it is groundbreaking. The story brings nothing new to the monster movie formula, and this is not the only time DreamWorks will tell an alien story. For some reason, they take a line from E.T. and then make that the title to their 2015 movie with the alien race called B.O.B. They're called B.O.B. because the only thing you can tell that these aliens are B.O.B. you stink. But Monsters vs. Aliens goes to honorable lengths to make itself feel nuanced through an immersive 3D experience. Y'all know nothing about 3D experiences. Don't nobody do 3Ds no more. Everybody streamed up nowadays. In a solid mixture of monster personas, loosely adapting from different mediums. Insectosaurus taking inspiration of Godzilla, which was also a little critter that got struck with radiation and is now taking his anger out on the city of the Japs. From that to Bob taking inspiration from Slimer the Slime Monster, or at least that's what I think from my experience. The Missing Link taking inspiration from the creature of the Black Lagoon, and Dr. Cockroach PhD reminiscent of the Fly, which is also a universal classic monster in addition to the creature of the Black Lagoon. And Ginormica is just one big girl, a 50-foot woman, kind of like the one that my great-grandmother saw in the 50s, who when all them cars stuck in traffic they looked up, it's almost like they felt warmth. And it wasn't from the sun, it was from under the woman's dress. That's all I'll say for now. Rotten Tomatoes, this little company, small-time company, non-profit company of movie critics who think it's a movie, but it's not. This is real. Give it a 74%. Monsters vs. Aliens, in the words of Colonel General Warmonger, say that Monsters vs. Aliens case focuses on part-time commemoration to cinematic monsters like my own, and part-time satire on sci-fi alien stories like the ones we're trying to prove to the public. Even with all the feature films starring one or both of the forces of nature, DreamWorks' attempt to create something hybrid is more satisfying than the movie itself. So for that, I say it deserves a little bit the same downgun level as that shark movie with De Niro and all them good fellas down there. 7.9 out of 10. That is all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me for a moment. Mr. President, what do you think? We have no other options. Alright. Thank you very much. And God bless you. I'm going to continue to pray for you, and I'm going to tell my niece to pray for you, and I'm going to tell my great-great-grandmother who's in heaven to pray for you from where she's at. Thank you. And you have a nice day. Alright. Alright, citizens. Alright, monsters. Let's move out.